Just by looking at me, you can probably tell that I could beat LeBron in any contest. But sadly, even despite this fact, he still beats me in the department of money. Although I have been already accused of being a champagne socialist, which, pretty cool, I guess. I firmly believe that billionaires and the rich in general are a negative to this world, that they don't deserve it, and they do more harm than good overall. For one example, for your consideration, is David Zaslav. I think I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. Who made over $150 million in 2014 by helping to air Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. Yes, a hero, I'm sure you think. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't really call that a huge leap forward in innovation for the world. And the book ABCs of Socialism would agree, which is a good book if you're interested in anything that I'm talking about and would like a base level understanding of more socialistic values, like the ones I have. Some larger examples of, I think, billionaires that extort value is Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. With those amazing representatives, I know it's hard to understand my position, and I'm sure you're left wondering, should billionaires exist? I personally don't think so, as I already stated. Maybe you're left wondering, are they really that much better than the rest of the world? But then I started thinking of billionaires whom most people would believe and say that they are the best in the world. Literal innovators of their crafts. People like professional athletes. And then when athletes came up, there's only one man that came to mind. Probably the most well-known athlete, at least for basketball, for his glaze. The GOAT, LeBron James. So then my question turned into whether professional athletes like LeBron James should make more money than the average man, at least in the United States. Now, for some, I know this is heartbreaking, and criticizing the GOAT is very hard, or to some, even unthinkable. So we won't jump into that immediately. But instead, we'll focus on the billionaires and rich people as a whole. And once we get comfortable, then we'll dip our toes into either some le hate or le glaze. Hint, the answer to the question is kind of a yes and no type of deal, as most complicated subjects are in the world. Okay, onto the concept of rich people in our country, the United States. I wouldn't blame you for having probably the most widely obtained and widely had belief of rich people in the United States, because it kind of feels like a good reason for rich people existing. The most common take, at least from what I hear, is that rich people just work harder or work smarter than the average person in the world. Some might throw into the fact that they're a little luckier than the rest, but that is the basic held reasoning for why billionaires and rich people should be able to exist. I personally don't really bite on this take. I mean, just look at Elon. Like, really, this guy works harder and smarter than me. Yeah, I think my shoe works smarter and my shoelaces work harder than Elon has ever done in his entire life. Now, that may sound a teensy bit harsh for some Elon fans out there, although if you are his fans, you probably are not listening to this right now, and you probably would be clicking away because the average Elon fan does not like watching things that even slightly contradict their beliefs. But I could be wrong, and I got an Elon fan right there watching me. So I'll tell you why I'm so harsh with Elon, and equivalently, the rest of the rich people also kind of connect into why I dislike Elon. So a little history on Elon is that Elon lived in an apartheid in South Africa. Apartheid is the legal system of strict racial segregation and white minority rule in South Africa. This was supported and enforced by the Nationalist Party government from 1948 to 1994. You can kind of probably guess which side of the group he was on with me bringing this up. His family was extremely well off. On his father's side alone, he had 2 homes, a yacht, and 2 luxury cars. His father had stakes in emerald mines, saying that he had so much money that they couldn't even shut the safe close in their home. Elon, of course, denies all of this. He could be telling the truth, and his dad has been banned to embellish stories. But Elon has been confirmed to lie about countless of other financial help that his father has provided. For his first company, Zip2, Elon's father sent him over $22 million to help start it up. life. I don't know about you, but 22 million seems a whole lot more than nothing. Basically, that whole story boils down is that most of the time, rich people are only born from prior wealth. There are a section of self-made billionaires and millionaires, but if you look into it, again, they are from at least an upper class family. There are some that are from lower class, but that's not the whole reason why I dislike them. Not because just rich people can become richer. It is more than that. But let's stop talking about Elon specifically and move on to the general wrongdoings of billionaires. First is the exploitation of workers. This is pretty much inevitable once you reach a certain level of wealth in our country. Someone has to be screwed over at some point, and 9 times out of 10, I'd say almost 10 times out of 10, those people are the individual workers providing the worth. The doubly messed up part about this is that these people would not be able to create the amount of wealth that they have without these workers. Yet they are the ones that are constantly and always screwed over and oppressed. Time after time, the individuals who are actually creating value are the ones being punished. Then on top of the exploitation, there's always an exploitation of the political power that billionaires have access to. Rich people are able to funnel thousands, millions of dollars and wealth into campaigns that they support. You might say, what's the problem with that? And my answer to you is the vast majority of cases of elections, the factor that determines the victor of the race is the amount of income and money they receive. 94% of the House and 82% of the Senate candidates that outspent their opponents won the election in the end, according to the represent.us. I don't know about you, but I want the best candidate, not the candidate that fucking Elon Musk wanted the most. Some rich dude I don't want to be the one that decides my elections. Then on top of all of that, billionaires use loopholes in our tax system to avoid paying their fair share by borrowing money on assets that are untaxable and then never having to fully pay off their loans because the interest gained beats the interest gained on their loan. But enough talk about wealthy people in general. Let's talk about LeBron James. LeBron has an estimated net worth of $1.4 billion. Although this is just an estimate, which is most of the time completely wrong, it still shows a ballpark range of what wealth he's sitting on. Just for his income, just in his 2025-26 season, he made $52,630,000. So I do believe the billion range is where he's sitting at pretty comfortably with his deals outside of his just contracts. For comparison, the median annual income for a full-time American worker is about $64,000, while Social Security Administration overall national average wage index is approximately $69,000. That would make LeBron's earnings 753 times more than the average person. Now, I do believe LeBron James is an incredible athlete with, as every debate has ever said on him, amazing longevity. It is a little hard for me to sit here and say with a straight face that I think he brings 753 times more value to the world than the average American, than plumbers, than electricians, than educators. It just doesn't really sit right with me, although he is different from the generic billionaire. The main one being that the fact that he actually does create the value for the company, NBA company. Like, if the players don't play, then there is no game. But then you also have to think about the workers that actually allow them to play. Value comes from the collective labor of the workers, such as the arena staff, trainers, media producers, rather than just the star athletes like LeBron James. Now, I do believe that LeBron James deserves a higher income than these owners and other upper levels of the NBA. The ones that treat it as an asset and don't provide anything for it. Value for the fans. We should reward skill and effort, but with social respect and a comfortable living. The multi-million-dollar compensation package that again gives 753 times more wealth than the average American. At the same time, where others lack basic necessities like food, water, housing, that just can't be the way that we do it. That can't be just. That can't be the right way. Besides, what is even the point of having that much money? To see number get bigger? Yes, number bigger. Like, genuinely, If you spend $1,000 every single day, it would take you 2,738 years to spend his wealth. Actually, that's just for $1 billion. He has almost half a more than that. It is genuinely multiple lifetimes worth of wealth. No one should have that. Not even the GOAT, LeBron. But to change this, we will need to change our economic system. If you want a basic beginner level understanding of socialism, considering watching my video on it, I also have a TikTok where I post more rant style takes and commentary on politics. And I thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.